Hey students, let's have some fun today. We're going to learn and practice 40 words that sound kind of silly and they're just fun to say.
Hi, and welcome to the Espresso English podcast, where you can improve your English in just a few minutes a day. My name is Shayna, and I'm the teacher at Espresso English. Make sure to visit the website espressoenglish.net, where you can get online courses and ebooks that will help you learn English even faster. Let's get started with today's lesson.
A lot of these words are a little more advanced, so you might not be familiar with them yet. The best way to review and remember this funny-sounding vocabulary is to download the text and audio from this lesson. Just click on the link under the video to do that. The lesson guide has all the words, the definitions, and the example sentences. Now get ready to learn, and especially get ready to listen and repeat. Yes, I want you to practice saying these funny words out loud, and I've left space in the video for you to do so. Our first one is blubber. As a noun, blubber refers to the thick layer of fat on whales and other marine animals, although some people also use it to refer to human body fat, especially if the person has a lot of fat. And as a verb, blubber means to cry noisily. For example, my 5-year-old son was blubbering for hours after I took away his video game. Debauchery. This means extreme sensual pleasure, usually involving sex and or alcohol. For example, that movie is full of debauchery. It's definitely not appropriate for children. Discombobulated. This means very confused and disorganized. For example, I was so discombobulated this morning that I put my car keys in the refrigerator. Dollop. A dollop is a quantity of a liquid or a soft substance. For example, the pumpkin pie was served with a dollop of ice cream on top. Doodle. To doodle means to draw informally or casually, especially when you're preoccupied with something else. For example, I doodled in the margins of my notebook while the teacher was talking. Doozy. A doozy is an informal word for something extraordinary. Could be in a good way or a bad way. For example, the whole season was great and the last episode was a doozy. That means it was a really amazing or memorable episode. Or, the truth has finally come out about the political scandal and it's a doozy, meaning something really shocking or shockingly bad. Dumbfounded. Flabbergasted. These both mean astonished, so surprised to the point that it's difficult to speak. For example, I was flabbergasted when I heard that John and Debbie were going to get divorced. They had seemed like such a happy couple. Feeble. This means weak, not strong. It can be used for physical or non-physical weakness. For example, he made a feeble attempt to defend himself, but everyone knew he was guilty. Festooned. This is another word for decorated. For example, the banquet hall was festooned with chains of red and white flowers. Finagle. To finagle is to get something by indirect and maybe tricky methods. For example, Eric finagled an extra day off from work by telling his boss it was a religious holiday, even though he's not religious at all. Finicky. Finicky describes a person who is very particular and specific in what they want, and who doesn't accept things that aren't exactly the way they want. For example, my daughter is finicky about her dinner. She won't eat if 2 of the foods on the plate are touching each other. Flummoxed. Befuddled. This means completely confused. For example, the police were befuddled by the complete lack of evidence at the crime scene. Fuddy-duddy. This is a negative word for an old-fashioned person who does not accept modern trends. For example, maybe it makes me a fuddy-duddy, but I really don't think miniskirts are acceptable for job interviews. Gargoyle. A gargoyle is a statue of an animal or monster or imaginary creature, often used in architecture to send rainwater away from the walls of the building. Giggle. To giggle is to laugh with high-pitched short sounds, like a little girl. Gobbledygook. Gibberish. These refer to words that don't make any sense and you can't understand them. For example, my 1-year-old nephew can say a few words, but most of what comes out of his mouth is gibberish. Goggles. Goggles are a type of thick protective glasses to protect your eyes from danger. You can use goggles for swimming, and scientists also use goggles in the laboratory. Haphazard. This means dependent on chance, not well organized or planned. For example, you'll never be rich if you keep spending your money haphazardly. Hodgepodge. Hodgepodge is a mix of random items of various types. For example, this drawer contains a hodgepodge of office supplies, staples, clips, post-it notes, pencils, etc. Hogwash. This is a negative term for describing facts, information, or beliefs that are ridiculous or false. For example, some people believe it's unlucky to break a mirror, but I think that's a bunch of hogwash. Hoodwink. This means to deceive. The entrepreneurs hoodwinked investors by presenting the company as being more profitable than it actually was. Hubbub. Hullabaloo. Ruckus. These 3 words all refer to loud noise from a confusion or agitated event. For example, I looked out the window to find the cause of the ruckus and saw a bunch of teenagers having a party across the street. Itty-bitty. Itsy-bitsy. These are informal words for very small, often used when talking with children. For example, look at the itty-bitty ladybug. Pompous. Pompous means arrogant. For example, my last boss was a pompous jerk who thought he was superior to everyone else. Rambunctious. This adjective describes a person or animal with a lot of energy who tends to cause problems or make messes. For example, I don't know how Linda stays sane with 5 rambunctious kids under the age of 10. Ramshackle. Ramshackle means badly constructed so that it is likely to fall apart. For example, we crossed the river on a ramshackle bridge. Shenanigans. This word refers to mischief, tricks, or problematic activities. For example, George's shenanigans got him into trouble at school. Shrubs. Shrubbery. These words refer to bushes, plants that grow thick vegetation and are close to the ground. For example, the walkway to our house is lined with shrubbery. Skedaddle. This is an informal word for leaving or running away. For example, the neighborhood boys skedaddled after breaking a window with the baseball. Squabble. A squabble is an argument or fight, usually over something small. For example, the company's president and vice president are squabbling over the color of the business's new logo. Squeegee. A squeegee is a T-shaped tool that's used to remove water from windows and floors. Squelch. Squelch means to suppress or inhibit. For example, this new medicine can squelch anxiety and boost your confidence. Wishy-washy. Wishy-washy describes a person who is weak in their decisions or character. For example, my ex-boyfriend was so wishy-washy he couldn't even choose a movie to watch on a Friday night. I hope you enjoyed these funny-sounding words. Which one was your favorite? I'd love to hear what you think, or if you have any other silly words to add to this list. Make sure to download the free PDF and audio so you can save this lesson for later. The link for that is under the video. And if you want to really take your vocabulary to a higher level by learning over 1,000 advanced words, check out my Advanced Vocabulary and Collocations course. The words inside will help your English become more sophisticated so you can express yourself more fluently. You can find Advanced Vocabulary and Collocations at my website, espressoenglish.net. Thanks for watching today, and I'll talk to you next time.
If you want more great English lessons, visit espressoenglish.net, where you can sign up by email to receive a free ebook with 500 plus real English phrases. You'll also find online courses to help you improve your English fast, even if you don't have much time to study. Keep practicing your English, and I hope you have a wonderful day.